all is not well here with Tanya. She just lost her friend and companion, Beck. We have a building full of zombies. We have a zombie lurking behind the woods here. She's all alone. All she has is her pistol. I think I'm going to change things up a little bit. The scenario technically is lost because I lost one of the survivors, and the winning condition was they each find a weapon and then escape off the edge of the board. Well, she can't find a weapon because she's dead. And well, she found a weapon, but she can't escape off the edge of the board because she's dead. So I'm going to change it a little bit here. I'm still going to have Tanya searching for weapons because of course she would still do that because she wants to survive. But I'm going to borrow a rule from the skirmish rules in the rule book that states you can roll a 6-sided dice if you choose to do so, which I'll do, and get a 1. Now, that 1 will represent whenever I go into a building and I draw a zombie card, because they each have a number on them, 0 through 6. If I draw a 1, the first time I draw that 1, instead of finding zombies, I'm going to find another survivor, and I'll randomly pick one to see who I find. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of having Tanya and Beck find a weapon, escape off the edge of the board, I'm going to have Tanya search the building or buildings and look for anybody else that she can find along with those weapons. So my goal now is to have Tanya find additional weapon and find an additional survivor that she can team up with, and maybe they can find an additional weapon for that survivor too, and then they can both lead off the edge of the board. Again, I'm only going to do that one time. So not every time that I turn over a 1 will I find a survivor. Just the very first time, and then after that it would just be one zombie in the buildings going forward. Now, if she searches through all these buildings and doesn't find any additional weapons or doesn't find a survivor, then she'll just move off the edge of the board by herself and into the next story, the next part of the campaign, the next scenario. So we'll take it from there and we'll see what happens with Tanya and start our next turn now. We'll do our initiative check for this round, and both will get to go. First the zombies and then Tanya. The zombies get to activate first. We'll deal with this zombie that's lurking behind this group of trees here, and he is 5 hexes away from Tanya if he goes left and 5 if he goes right, so we'll randomly determine which direction he'll approach. I'll roll a die real quick. 1, 2, 3 this way, 4, 5, 6 this way. So we'll borrow a die, roll it on the board. So we got a 6. So he will move 3 spaces in that direction. Now, I couldn't find anything specific in the rules that dealt with the zombies that are in the building up here. Whether they stay in the building or whether they leave the building. I looked on bgg.com, and the consensus of the answers that I got was that the zombies were residing in the building prior to the survivors going in because they had no reason to leave the building because there was nobody around for them to go after. Now the building's been entered, they're aware of the presence of the survivors, so it only makes sense that now that the building has been entered and the zombies know that there's something out there, that gets their attention and they're going to come out of the building towards our survivors. So this one can move 5, 4. They're only 3 spaces away, so every one of them is going to rush out of that building and come at Tanya, who does not need to make a being charged reaction test because she has a star. I just want to take a quick look at it and decide which action I want to take. I looked at the being charged reaction test and I'm going to choose discretion right now and have Tanya run away. She's in a clear hex, so she can run away. So she'll move at her fast, well, it's a fast move rate. So she'll add 2 to her regular movement of 4. So she's going to move 6 hexes away, but she's scared after what she's seen happen. And she's going to run in the direction number 1, which is the top right portion of the hex. So she will choose to, well, she didn't really choose, she was really scared. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means she will enter that building. Well, she can't because she doesn't have enough moves to enter it. That would require 7, so she'll stop short right here, right outside of that building. I'm going to have Tanya move into this building right here for her turn. The zombies already had their activation. Now Tanya gets hers. And I'm hoping that I can find something in there that is beneficial, whether that is another survivor or a very low number of zombies. So we'll grab our deck here and we're hoping for a 1. And we got a 0. Well, we'll take that. We'll take that. That's not a problem. So this building has been entered. She has not used her action yet. So we'll go ahead and flip that to searched. Get a loot card. And find an empty building. That doesn't help us, but the fact that we drew a 0 for our zombie card is a good thing and a bad thing, because I don't think there are more than 2 zeros in that deck, and we've already drawn both of them, so we're going to be running into a lot of zombies in the future. Zombies have gone, Tanya has gone into this building, and that'll end this turn. We roll for initiative. Hopefully Tanya will get a chance to go first. She will not. The zombies got the higher number and activate. She got a number lower than her rep, so she will activate, but she'll have to wait till after the zombies go. You may be asking why I didn't just go for this building here. I'm just making a thematic choice that, because that's where her friend died and pieces of her in there, she probably can't bring herself to go in there right now. Maybe if it's the last building and she's desperate, she might be able to, or if she finds somebody else, maybe she'll have them go in there and get those items, but I just don't think she would go in there right now. First we'll move the zombies. We got one that can move 3, also another that moves 3, then one that moves 4, and then we have one that can move 5. And then we got this one straggler down here that can move 3. Definitely going this way is shorter, so he'll move 3. And then we got a spread out horde standing outside. So Tanya's going to have to make a break for it. And I might want to use her fast move ability because she's not going to move far enough to also go into a building. She doesn't have enough movement points to also go into a building and search and do all that with this one activation. So we're going to have her do her fast move. I want to put some distance between Tanya and that group of zombies. So for fast move, you're going to roll 2d6 against the survivor's rep that's going to be fast moving, which hers is 5, and each success adds an additional movement point. So we'll roll Tanya and 2 1s. Well, that's a darn good roll for her. So she's going to add 2 additional movement points, and she can move 6 this turn. I want to put as much distance between Tanya and these zombies as I can. Now she can move 6. I'm just going to take her straight across here. 1, 2. At least she has these buildings between her and these zombies down here that they would have to go around. She doesn't get an action. When you fast move, that constitutes not only your move, but your action. So she doesn't get to do any actions this turn. So she's not going to fire off her weapon or do anything like that. The zombies activated and got their move. Tanya sprinted out of that building trying to get away from them. Maybe she'll start working her way through some of these buildings over here, maybe picking off some of these zombies with some long range shots. We'll have to figure out what she's going to do and go into our next turn. Let's check that initiative. And this time Tanya got the higher number, equal to her rep, so she will activate first and then the zombies will. Tanya's pistol has a range of 3, so none of these zombies are within range. And I want to still put a little bit more distance between her. She can move 4. I will have her come down to, looks like Ed's stop and go. So that'll make her move 1, 2, and then 3, 4. 2 points to enter that building. Has been entered. Let's draw a zombie card. See what's going on inside there. 1. Perfect. That's what I was hoping for. That means we're going to have another survivor that she finds hiding inside that building to help her out. I've lined up the 8 possible survivors. I excluded Nick, who is the other survivor with a star. So I don't want to have 2 stars running around with the ability to choose everything. I do like the idea of having random in there. So I grabbed an 8-sided die that was nearby and roll a 5. So we will be joined by Jimmy. Take a quick look at Jimmy's card. Jimmy, 442, 4 for his rep, 4 for his move, 2 for his melee. Jimmy's special ability is he can perform 2 actions if he does not move. So that can come in handy. He doesn't have any gear or weapons. We found him scavenging himself. He's going to, of course, start at 0 wounds, and he is kind of short on health also, the same as Tanya. And we'll see what we can do. Jimmy will be joining us. We'll place him in the building. And we will put Tanya outside the building from where she approached from, since we cannot have 2 survivors inside the building or even sharing the same hex. So Tanya was going towards that building, heard some noise inside, found a way to look, and she saw Jimmy searching through things, looking for a weapon, supplies of any kind, because right now he's empty-handed and has nothing. So Tanya was able to convince him to join her and help out. And now we need to decide what we're going to do. Will we have Jimmy enter the building where we know there's some supplies ready for him? Or will we try a different building? Let me decide what I want to do and think about it a little bit. Tanya still has not used her action. She only moved. This building has not been searched yet. So I think we'll stay where we're at. and we'll have Jimmy search on the next turn once they're activated. Tanya's too far away still for any kind of range combat. She already used up her move by going into the building and using all 4. She technically didn't go into the building, would have 2 left, but we'll say that she used her move up, walking around the outside of the building trying to figure out what that noise was inside. The zombies now get to activate. The zombies would not be aware of Jimmy yet, so they would all still be concentrating on Tanya, because he's still inside the building. So they're going to take the most direct route to Tanya. So this zombie can move 3, and both of these can move 3. So they're going to stack up right there. Then we have one that can move 4. And then this one can move 5. So all of them are going to end up in a big horde in that hex coming towards our survivors. The activation is complete for this turn. Hopefully Jimmy can find something good in there. Tanya, maybe take a shot in the next activation if the zombies don't get to activate first. If the zombies activate first, they're all going to make it to Tanya in this round, in this coming round. We got a lot to see, a lot to do. Now we have an additional survivor, and we're going to see what kind of situation this turns into in our next turn. This is an important initiative roll. We definitely want the survivors to go first, otherwise that zombie horde's going to reach Tanya. Oh no! No, that's not the case. Too high. Tanya, our survivors rolled a 6. They cannot activate. The zombies got enough to activate. This is a really bad situation. This scenario, even though I changed it up to try to make it more interesting and longer, may end right here. All of our zombies activate. They're only 2 away. They can all move at least 2. And now we have a horde of 5. All rushing Tanya. Luckily, she gets to do she doesn't have to do a being charged test. She can pick her reaction. I'm not sure what I want to do. I can choose to run away and randomly choose to run away. But if she rolls and ends up rolling a 3, she would end up bumping into this building if she can't enter, staying in her space and having to melee anyway. Or if she rolled a 6, she would end up running into this building, entering it, and then generating more zombies. Our choices are very bad, but if she runs into this building and generates more zombies, maybe it'll be less than 5, but then we'll have the 5 right outside that we'll have to deal with. That'll probably come rushing into one of these buildings. There's a lot to consider here. Since the survivors don't get to get a activation this turn, it's hard. I could have her fire a round off and just go for it, but just going for it last time didn't serve us very well and got us killed. I need to take a minute to think. I think that the smart thing to do would be to run away. I shall run away 6 hexes. Yeah, we'll go with that. Anything but a 6. And of course I got a 6. Unbelievable. That is terrible luck. She's going to enter that building right to her northwest. We'll put the entered marker on there. She'll enter the building. And we will get 4 zombies. Oof. This is getting out of control quickly. One, 2, 3, 4. So we'll stack them up. Place Tanya there. Now she was running away, which was a fast move, and when a character is fast moving and enters a building, they are always surprised. When the zombies surprise the survivor in this manner, you enter directly into melee combat. We have 4 zombies inside. Tanya has a melee rating of 2. She won't get to fire her weapon off because she was surprised. That is not good. But we still have a chance because she can reroll one of hers. No, that actually is okay. I forgot that her rep is 5. So the zombies failed and only got 1 success. Her rep is 5. She has 1 success. So at worst, it'll be a push and nothing will happen. But she has a chance to reroll one of her die. And she gets a 3. That's helpful because that'll eliminate one of the zombies. She has 2 successes to their 1, which means 1 zombie will be eliminated and the rest will remain in the building with her. Tanya will eliminate one of the zombies, and now there are still 3 in there with her. Return that one to the cup. Again, our characters do not get to activate this round, so this one is over already. We have 3 buildings entered that haven't been searched yet. We know that there's items over here. We have a horde of 5 zombies outside. There's 3 inside this building with Tanya. We've got a lot going on. Jimmy over here hiding out, but the zombies know he's there now. They've sniffed him out now that they're that close. So once again, our initiative roll is very, very important in our next turn. We need to have the survivors activate first.